Dear students, today I am going to deliver a lecture on physical world and measurements, which is the first unit, जो पहला unit है class 11th का. The first chapter is physical world for the class 11th. In this chapter, we are going to discuss something about science. As you know that our age of science, which is in which the computer, television, video, audio systems, telephones, cell phones, these are all basically given by the science. Then what is science? फिर science क्या होता? Science, the word science is originated from the Latin verb scientia, meaning to know. मतलब ये जानने की कोशिश हमें करनी है कि साइंस होता क्या. बेसिकली ये आया साइंस साइंशिया से, द नॉलेज. That is, this knowledge which the humans have gained through observations and experiments, which organized systematically, called science. This science is based on two branches. दो branches पे ये depend करता है. कौन कौन सा? The physical science, biological science. Physical science का मतलब हो गया physics, chemistry, geology, geography, and so on. That means we are dealing with the physically. And the second branch is the biological science, means botany, zoology, entomology, forensic science, and so on. Now we will move to next slide. In this slide, we will now discuss here what is physics, जिसकी हम पहले बात कर रहे हैं, जिस सब्जेक्ट की हम बात कर रहे हैं, physics. Physics is the basic discipline of the category of natural science. Basic category, natural science का basic branch है ये. Everything is possible because of physics. Physics is the branch of science which means fuses, meaning nature, and is used to refer the study of the physical world. That means the physics is the branch of science which is devoted to the study of nature and natural phenomena. यानी कि हर एक चीज जो भी हम डे टू डे में हम देखते हैं वो फिजिक्स ही है. Everywhere we are dealing with physics. Physically what we are doing. That is, physics is basically based on the two principles. दो principles पे based है. कौन कौन सा? The unification and reductionism. Unification means attempting to explain diverse physical phenomena of few concepts and laws of science. And reduction means attempting to derive the property of bigger and complex systems from the property of its constituent parts and so on. इसका मतलब ये है कि यूनिफिकेशन जो ये लॉज और कॉन्सेप्ट्स के साथ डील करता है. जैसे न्यूटन्स लॉ Newton has given us the laws of gravitation, how the apple falls from the tree towards the earth. It is the earth which pulls it. Then there is the attraction between the two particles. These are all based on the unification. And the reductionism means which we derive from the bigger properties, bigger complex systems. जैसे the subject of thermodynamics deals with the bulk system in terms of microscopic quantities like temperature, internal energy, entropy, and so on. Move to next slide, that is branches of physics. There are so many branches of physics, mainly the thermodynamics, mechanics, vibration and waves, atomic physics, nuclear physics, electromagnetism, optics. thermodynamics is related to heat temperature, यानी कि heat और temperature के साथ thermodynamics जो है relate करता है. Mechanics deals with motion and its branches and its causes. यानी कि when we say कि कोई चीज चल रहा है तो उसका मतलब हो गया it is mechanics. Vibration and waves means it is related to the periodic motion, simple harmonic motion, vibrational motion. जैसे we talk of a simple pendulum. The pendulum when it oscillates to and fro, it gives a particular periodic motion. अगर हम एक तबला ले लेंगे, when we beat it, it starts vibrating. अगर हम एक सितार ले लेंगे, सितार की एक वायर को प्लग करेंगे, release it, starts vibrating to and fro, means it produces vibrations. If we put some pebble in water, pebble पानी में डाल देंगे, different types of ripples are formed on the surface of water. These ripples are in the form of transverse and longitudinal waves. Atomic physics. It is related to the structure of atom, the energy associated with it, and the atomic changes. Nuclear physics. It is related with the structure of nucleus, energy associated with it. As you know, the nucleus contains all the particles like protons, neutrons, pions, pi mesons, antineutronians, and so on. Due to their interaction with these, it produces energy, that is nuclear energy. Electromagnetism. It is related with electricity, magnetism, and both of them, electric field and magnetic field, are at right angles and produces electromagnetic wave. Optics means light and it is properties and it is behavior. Now next slide. Now physics in relation to society. Physics किस तरह से society के साथ related है? Physics have a direct impact on society in different ways. For example, the development of mobile, telephone, telegraph, telex enables the society to transmit the message instantly. So this is the development, how it is related with the society, how we use it in the society, the physics use in mobiles, यानी कि मोबाइलों में यूज़ करते हैं, टेलीफोन में यूज़ करते हैं, टेलीग्राफ में यूज़ करते हैं, जो अर्लियर टाइम्स विच वाज नॉट पॉसिबल वो आजकल पॉसिबल है मोबाइल के ज़रिए. एनीथिंग हैपन्स इन द वर्ल्ड वी कैन गेट इट इमीडिएटली बाय मींस ऑफ टेलीविजन. जो डेवलपमेंट है सोसाइटी के लिए फिजिक्स की देन है, रेडियो देन है, सैटेलाइट revolutionized whole of the communication system. Electronics, computers, lasers have greatly enriched the society, which was not possible previously is possible today. जैसे कि आजकल आप घर बैठे you are using mobile, घर बैठे आप हर एक चीज काम मोबाइल पे करते हैं, बैंकिंग करते हैं, कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको चाहिए, कोई anything you want to get, you can get it from the Google, etc., which is basically the physics which has given to the society. Dear students, now here we will discuss fundamental forces in nature. यानी कि nature में कितने forces हैं जो fundamental, basic है. These are 4 fundamental forces in nature. Number 1 is the gravitational force, second is electromagnetic force, third is strong nuclear force, and fourth is weak nuclear forces. Gravitational force is the force between two masses. जैसे m1 और m2 दो masses है, separated by a distance r from their centers. According to Newton, the force between these two masses is directly proportional to product of the masses, and force is inversely proportional to square of the distance between the two masses. It was given by Newton, has given the relation Fg is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square, where G जो कैपिटल G है ये ग्रेविटेशनल कांस्टेंट है, इसको यूनिवर्सल ग्रेविटेशनल कांस्टेंट भी बोलते हैं. Its value is fixed everywhere in the universe, which is 6.674 into 10 power minus 11 meter cube per kg per second square. M1 and M2 are the two masses of the objects, and r is the distance between the two. Then according to universal law of force, it obeys inverse square law. It is the weakest force in nature. ये सबसे weak force है. अगर हम दो parties ले लेंगे जो नजदीक नजदीक भी रख देंगे, we don't observe they are attracting each other, but actually they attract each other by the Newton's law of gravitation. It is a conservative force. It is a central force because it starts from the center of the objects. It is a long range force, and it is caused due to the exchange of the particles. इनके बीच में जो particles exchange हो जाते हैं between the masses, those are said to be gravitons. उनको gravitons बोलते हैं. Now next. Electromagnetic forces. This is the second force, which is divided into two parts. इसमें दो parts हैं, electric part and magnetic part. Electric part is said to be electrostatic force, which is the force between two static charges. जो दो static charges, जो rest पे दो charges होंगे, उनके बीच में जो force है, that is electrostatic force. And second part is the magnetic force. That is the force between the magnetic poles. These two forces are inseparable. ये अलग अलग नहीं हो सकते. These are considered to be two facts of general force known as electromagnetic force. Now we will discuss next. The electrostatic force I have discussed here. The electrostatic force is the force between two static point charges Q1, Q2 separated by distance r, as shown in the figure, where r is the distance between two charges from their centers, and Fc is the Coulomb force, because has been given by Coulomb. The force between the two charges is directly proportional to product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. According to the relation given by Coulomb, Fc is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. We read this epsilon naught. Q1 mod of Q1 mod of Q2 divided by r square. That means we take it as magnitude of the charges only. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is taken equal to k, where k is known as constant of proportionality. Epsilon naught has a value 8.85 in 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. We read it as Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. And when we substitute the value of epsilon naught in the relation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, we get k equal to 8.99 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Sometimes we write it directly 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Epsilon naught is known as the permittivity of the free space, and k is the constant of proportionality, and this symbol जो E naught जो है, it is read as epsilon naught. Now to next slide. Here the next slide is on strong nuclear forces. That was force between the nucleons. You know that particles which lie within the nucleus of an atom are said to be nucleons. These nucleons are bounded together by a force, which is a strong force. A nuclear force can hold a nucleus together against the enormous force of repulsion of the protons. जो protons एक दूसरे के साथ repel कर रहे हैं तब भी वो एक दूसरे के साथ जुड़े हैं because of the nuclear force, which is a binding force. However, it is not an inverse square force. Inverse square force नहीं है. The electromagnetic force, and it has a very short range, बड़ा कम range होता है इसका. Yukawa was one of the scientists who has modeled the strong force as an exchange force in which the exchange of the particles are pions. यानी कि न्यूक्लियस के अंदर सिर्फ प्रोटॉन्स और न्यूट्रॉन्स महदूद नहीं है, लिमिटेड नहीं है, इसमें pions भी है. And other heavier particles like neutrinos, antineutrinos, these are other particles which lie within the nucleus, जो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर lie करते हैं. The range of a particle exchange force is limited by uncertainty principle and has a value 1 Fermi, जो इनके बीच में डिस्टेंस 1 Fermi के बराबर. 1 Fermi का वैल्यू 10 पावर -15 मीटर्स होता है. It is the strongest of the four fundamental forces, सबसे strong force. और forces कौन कौन से होते हैं न्यूक्लियस के अंदर? ये न्यूट्रॉन फोर्स भी हो सकता है, प्रोटॉन फोर्स हो सकता है, न्यूट्रॉन प्रोटॉन फोर्स भी हो सकता है. Depends. Now next slide. The fourth force is the weak nuclear forces. These are the forces that appear only between elementary particles of short lifetime. जो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर small elementary particles जिनका short lifetime होता है, involved in nuclear process such as beta decay of the nucleus, यानी कि न्यूक्लियस के अंदर beta decay हो जाता. The energy emitted during beta decay, जिस वक्त beta decay हो जाता उस वक्त जो energy emit हो जाती is shared by, जो share हो जाती between electrons and antineutrinos, जो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रोड्यूस होता और एंटी न्यूट्रिनोज होते हैं उनके साथ वो शेयर करते हो एनर्जी, एंड वाइस वर्सा, विच मीन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड एंटी न्यूट्रिनोज इंटरैक्ट, वो एक दूसरे के साथ इंटरैक्ट करते विद ईच अदर थ्रू वीक न्यूक्लियर फोर्सेस. ओके, बाय. That's all for today's lecture. We will meet next time in next slide.